Tonight in 7 News, holiday handout. 15,000 Queenslanders gifted a tourism voucher for a Cairns or Barrier Reef experience. Unlikely allies unite to boost vaccine confidence as the rollout cops backlash from doctors. Aged care nightmare. Thousands of Aussie seniors too scared to make the move. Outback obliteration. A truck and ute collide, destroying a highway. The Clean Up Australia volunteers who found a stash of weapons in Brisbane. And streets turn pink as thousands hit the pavement to overcome breast cancer.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Katrina Blowers.
Good evening. Queenslanders will get a holiday gift to the tune of $200 as the government tries to kickstart a tourism revival in the far north. 15,000 travel vouchers are on offer to spend in the Cairns region that has been crippled by the COVID pandemic.
It's the hot ticket to a tourism freebie.
People have never been to the Great Barrier Reef. Now's the time.
Time to head north, helped by some holiday dollars in your pocket.
Well, Queensland, have we got a deal for you?
The deal offers 15,000 vouchers, $200 each for use on a Cairns travel experience, a reef trip, sky rail, a dive or a jump.
There's more than 1,000 experiences in our region waiting for these Cairns holiday dollars to be spent.
A $3 million government injection into the tropical north tourist region that's been nearly wiped out by international border closures.
For a destination that used to turn over $3.5 billion of tourism expenditure supporting 1 in 5 jobs, we've lost more than $2.2 billion worth of visitor expenditure.
The vouchers can be redeemed between 15 March and 25 June. They'll cover 50% of a tourism experience up to $200. The deal is only open to Queensland residents. There's no doubt the tropical north has been hardest hit by COVID closures and so is the obvious place to begin the rollout of this scheme. But pretty well all of Queensland's tourism regions are doing it tough, and so the Premier hasn't ruled out further expanding the voucher program. To score a Cairns voucher, you'll need to go into the draw on queensland.com.au and register from midday tomorrow until Thursday. Lucky winners will be drawn next Monday.
We need people to pack their bags and head to Cairns.
To help its economy lift off. Joel Dry, 7 News.
Some Queensland GPs are pulling out of the vaccine rollout, claiming they need double the money or more doses. They've been accused of being greedy, but doctors have hit back as the first AstraZeneca shots were delivered.
Politics aside, for a bipartisan pitch to a nation.
No matter who you intend to vote for, there is a united message, and that united message is please get the vaccine.
Government research shows women aged 25 to 45 are hesitant.
Julia speaks to that group.
They received some of the first doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, the workhorse which will fortify a country.
We will soon be delivering well over 500,000 vaccinations a week.
Data just in from overseas shows it's more successful than in the trial and in one study, superior to Pfizer. The vaccine will be sent to GPs within a fortnight. Doctors will receive $30.75 for the first vaccine, triple the rebate for the flu shot.
This is not the flu vaccine. This is a more complicated vaccine.
There are some who wanted to charge the patients an arm and a leg.
We're not greedy. We are happy to do it and lose money on it.
But some GPs aren't and are pulling out. It's unlikely to be your GP who gives you the shot, and that means it won't be a quick visit. You'll have to give your medical history to a new doctor and wait 15 minutes in recovery. From next week, you can organise your free vaccine. Go to health.gov.au to check your eligibility and register your interest. It'll be given first to over 70s, emergency workers, then over 60s. The goal for every Australian to be vaccinated by Halloween. Erin Edwards, 7 News.
Defence Minister Linda Reynolds won't return to work tomorrow, extending her medical leave until early April. As criticism of her handling of rape allegations intensifies, she's under increased pressure to stand aside.
Last seen a month ago when the Morrison government was flying high. The Defence Minister's fate still up in the air.
She needs to go. Her position is untenable.
Linda Reynolds has apologised for calling alleged rape victim Brittany Higgins a lying cow, but is refusing to resign, instead extending her medical leave after being reassessed by her cardiologist in relation to a pre-existing medical condition.
The risk to her physical health was considered to be very significant.
Admitted to hospital last month and still on leave 11 days later. She'll miss Parliament's next sitting period, off work until the 2nd of April, avoiding a grilling at Senate estimate hearings, with Foreign Minister Marise Payne acting in her place.
We need the Defence Minister who can turn up to Parliament.
Also on leave, Attorney-General Christian Porter, with neither minister likely to front the Parliament until the budget's released in May. But colleagues insist they'll keep their positions.
I have no doubt about that.
It's triggered an independent review of Parliament's culture, led by Sex Discrimination Commissioner Kate Jenkins. She's already backing an independent body for staff to make complaints.
There could be a confidential mechanism that won't bring down a government, but people are safe to come forward.
She'll also consider whether to strip politicians of the power to sack staff at will, with the final report due in November. Olivia Leeming, 7 News.
The Royal Commission into Aged Care has left Australian seniors terrified of ending up in nursing homes. Advocates say many retirees would rather die young than move into care facilities, but don't have any other backup plans.
For many Australians, growing old is a frightening thought. For those already in the later stages of life, the horrors exposed by the Royal Commission have turned that fear into a fast approaching reality.
They just can't believe it's happening and they don't want it to happen to themselves.
Half of the almost 6,000 over 50s surveyed by National Seniors Australia say reports of neglect and abuse had affected their planning decisions, including aged care.
People are stopping planning and worrying about this. We don't want people shutting down the future for themselves.
They're all horrified and they're all saying to me now, absolutely, I don't want to be put into a nursing home.
Bill says some of his mates are so worried about it, they've gone as far as stipulating that no one who has power of attorney over them in the future can send them to an aged care facility.
I'd prefer the machines were turned off or I didn't get treatment than going into a nursing home.
Preferring instead to age at home. But with more than 100,000 people on the waiting list for residential care packages and thousands dying waiting every year, that isn't an option for everyone.
That's just a dreadful thing for people to look at. No wonder they're concerned about planning for the future.
Despite assurances from the Prime Minister that change is coming, it will take time. But for many, that is something they don't have.
You're in the last little bit of your life and time goes so quickly you can't get it back again.
Rob Scott, 7 News.
A car thief has taken a late-night swim after crashing into the water at Shorncliffe. The 23-year-old man was allegedly high on drugs when he drove a stolen car off the seawall at All Pass Parade just before midnight. He tried to escape by swimming into the bay, but police were able to quickly convince him to return to shore. He'll face court next month. The big clean-up job is underway in New Caledonia after tropical cyclone Niran unleashed. Strong winds sent roofs and debris flying, causing major damage, especially along the west coast. Locals describing the system as intense and violent.
Blue skies above, but below a mighty mess. The tropical island trashed by Cyclone Niran. Roofs peeled off, trees ripped up, roots and all. A fast food sign battered. Boats left broken.
It went past New Caledonia as a Category 4 to Category 5 system.
Whipping up wild winds. Tropical cyclone Niran made landfall yesterday morning.
We saw quite a bit of damage from trees down and 150 km/h winds all along the west coast.
The cyclone threat has eased, now the clean-up begins. Niran strengthened to a cyclone off the North Queensland coast last Tuesday before tracking southeast. After almost a week, the system will soon run out of puff.
Now northern New Zealand and weakening quite rapidly, so no more impacts expected to be felt, maybe some waves for New Zealand.
Air Caledonia moved its fleet to Sydney and Brisbane to prevent damage. Today, the fleet headed home. to an island battered and bruised, but far from broken. Amelia Radham, 7 News.
Former US President Donald Trump is turning a legal blowtorch on his own political party. His lawyers have told Republicans they cannot use his name for fundraising unless he okays it first. It comes as President Biden celebrates the narrowest of victories on a giant pandemic spending plan.
Gone from the White House, but still wielding influence. Lawyers for Donald Trump have hit his party's 3 biggest fundraising committees with cease and desist letters. They warn Republicans not to use his name or likeness without permission from Trump himself. In Mar-a-Lago, Palm Beach, and weighing his political future, the ex-president is believed to be determined he's not used to help re-elect any of 17 Republicans who voted for his impeachment. Donald Trump is so tightly tied to the Republican Party, many in it question whether it's even possible to campaign without mentioning their most recent president or the man many fully expect to be their next president.
The bill as amended is passed.
President Biden's American Rescue Plan passes the US Senate. $1.9 trillion in economic support measures. For most Americans, $1,400 checks.
This plan will get checks out the door starting this month.
For the unemployed, an extra payment extended, more COVID tests and vaccinations, and money to get schools and universities open again.
The Senate has never spent $2 trillion in a more haphazard way.
Every single Republican member of Congress voted against the giant plan, highlighting the sharp divide in US politics.
Now that we're in the majority, they don't seem to want to work with us.
The rescue plan is expected to receive final congressional approval in days, marking a narrow victory for President Biden. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
The countdown is on for what promises to be one of the most explosive royal reveals ever. In a few hours, Harry and Meghan will tell all on their split from the royal family in their highly anticipated Oprah interview set for a global audience.
The hype is huge.
I just want to make it clear to everybody there is no subject that's off limits.
The fallout promises to be just as big.
I don't know how they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us.
Meghan and Harry sitting down with Oprah Winfrey, sharing with the world for the first time their reasons for leaving the monarchy.
Because it has been unbelievably tough for the two of us, but at least we had each other.
Not since Princess Diana's bombshell BBC one-on-one has Buckingham Palace been so exposed.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
I can't begin to imagine what it must have been like for her going through this process by herself.
Following in his mother's footsteps once again. The implications of Harry's decision could be enormous for the monarchy. But still for the royals, it's business as usual, celebrating Commonwealth Day. William and Kate taking time to chat to frontline health workers.
Catherine and I have spoken to a lot of healthcare workers in the UK and around the world over the last year, and we hear your worries and your concerns, and thank you for your time chatting to us about it.
They just get on with the job at hand, and it's duty, duty, duty.
Harry and Meghan's interview is seen by many as a way to raise their profile in the US.
I think the US certainly is going to be a more sympathetic audience. They were so proud when Meghan married into the royal family. I do think there's going to be more sympathy in the US than there is in the UK.
But it could backfire.
It really could be bad for them if they come across as not being grateful and not being gracious.
The Sussexes warned publicity and privacy don't mix.
If they choose to live in Los Angeles, there's a lot of photographers here. They're pretty much the biggest international target that there is.
Their time as royals is definitely over. Today marks 1 year since their last official engagement, severing all ties, a price they're willing to pay.
If that comes with risk of losing things, I mean, there's a lot that's been lost already.
Mike Amor, 7 News.
If you were up early this morning, there was one colour on the streets of Brisbane. Thousands of Queenslanders threw on pink and laced up their runners, hitting the pavement for the International Women's Day fun runs, supporting women in the fight of their lives.
A sea of pink to celebrate women and honour breast cancer survivors across Queensland.
I started doing this walk quite a few years ago when my auntie Susan got breast cancer, and then funnily enough, or not, maybe not funny enough, a couple of years ago I got breast cancer as well.
Among them, nurse and survivor Beck Leslie, who was diagnosed with a rare aggressive breast cancer in 2017.
I've had yearly screenings since I was 37 years old, and I found the lump in between my screenings.
Today, supported by her husband while she recorded a personal best.
I'm absolutely overwhelmed with the support that we've received this year.
More than 14,000 people crossed the finish line in Brisbane this morning, with another 3,000 taking part in other events across the state.
We've been absolutely blown away by the generosity of Queensland. Today we've raised more than $1.45 million.
On the Gold Coast, an all-female patrol group at Point Danger to recognise women in surf lifesaving. And in New Farm, a ladies' luncheon hosted by Act for Kids.
We've got about 120 people here. We sold out, and it's an event to celebrate the role of women in society.
Raising money and awareness for children in need.
If we lift women up, we lift families up, and everybody is a winner.
Celebrating those who choose to challenge. Anna McGraw, 7 News.
On to the weather now, and Tony, you're at beautiful Shorncliffe tonight.
Yes, that's right, Katrina. I'm lucky enough to be down by the water here tonight. The perfect place to wind down the weekend. We are seeing a steady stream of locals going for a little walk here, making the most of the last of today's sunlight. It's all fairly settled at the moment, but it was a very different story earlier today by the coast. A few showers, the odd weak storm around, and that helped spawn this stunning waterspout up by the beach at Caloundra this morning. Now, waterspouts are most common in autumn, where warm ocean temperatures help get the air rising. Combine that with some strong winds in places, and it can all start to spin. Thankfully, waterspouts are generally weaker and less destructive than classic tornadoes that we do get with thunderstorms. Now, we're set for a hot and unsettled week ahead. Katrina, I'll be back soon with the forecast from here at Shorncliffe.
Sounds interesting. Thanks, Tony. It is damage that has to be seen to be believed. The outback Australian highway obliterated during an explosive crash. The tragic end to an overnight fishing trip off Yeppoon. Chaotic scenes as a car ploughs through a crowded dining area in New York. And in flashback, the meat substitution scandal that rocked Australia. Who put roux in the stew?
School zone traffic roulette. The southeast's drop-off and pick-up nightmare. Fed-up parents.
Absolutely ludicrous of an afternoon and of a morning.
Fed-up residents.
It's just chaos.
Cars parked across driveways, yellow lines and bus stops. The worst suburbs, plus plans to fix it. On 7 News, Monday.
David can win the David and Goliath battle.
I want my children to be proud of me.
I was told by the doctors that I wouldn't be able to run. Proving them wrong.
Get ready for the fastest show on the planet. Ultimate Tag. Starts tonight at 7 on 7.
Thanks to Gomo Mobile, we get just what we need without any of the unwanted nonsense. Right, darling?
Maybe a little bit of unwanted nonsense.
No, Ricky.
No, we don't need any of that.
It's Australian to work hard for a future we can be proud of. It's super to have a top-performing fund investing for you like no other can. It's yours, the retirement you want with Australian Super.
Oh, another Monday, a whole week to do.
Gotta get up and see it through.
But what if it's different? Shine a light on the day.
Turn Mondays into fun days?
Come, sing it, sir. It's here come Mondays. Now Mondays aren't so bleak.
I compare the market. There's prizes every week.
It's near Camp Mondays.
Putting Mondays on the map.
Just compare the market.
And please download the
Simples
app.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Has your life been turned upside down by a work accident? Talk to Australia's #1 law firm. Morris Blackburn Lawyers will maximise your claim so you can get on with your life again. Call us now. It costs nothing to know where you stand.
Dreams. They're the reason we work hard. But without the right super fund, our dreams often remain just that. At Sun Super, your retirement dreams aren't a promise. They're our purpose. A fund that works for you, not shareholders. With a history of strong, long-term returns and the tools and advice to help you take charge today to make your dreams possible tomorrow. Sun Super, what dreams are made of.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of easy dinners with Coles RSPCA-approved chicken drumsticks, down to $4 a kilo. Perfect with a delicious Coles Kitchen salad kit. 2 packs for just $8. Coles, value the Australian way.
Beaumont's Be-Visual Live is so easy to use.
Even the kids could do it. Just take a snap of your room, select the tile you like and see it live.
And get 28% off floor tiles.
Live visualiser and 28% off tile.
No wonder we chose Beaumont's.
A Gladstone father has drowned after falling overboard near Yeppoon. Travis Harrison was fishing with a friend in Roslyn Bay around 11 p.m. when he fell into the water, sparking a 2-hour search involving the Coast Guard and RACQ helicopter.
I think he was going to deploy his anchor, and it was quite rough. There was about a metre sea out there, and he was in about an 18-foot boat, and it was rocking and rolling.
His body was found washed up on a nearby beach a short time later. There has been a devastating fatal crash in outback South Australia, described as one of the worst the state has ever seen. A B-double and ute collided, causing a massive explosion that tore the highway apart.
From the air, it looks like a war zone. From the ground, post-apocalyptic. On one side of the obliterated highway, a B-double burned and torn apart. On the other, the shell of a ute charred beyond recognition.
There was loads of explosions, black smoke everywhere, there was flames.
Absolutely horrific. Both vehicles were incinerated. The road damage is catastrophic.
A 23-year-old ACT man in the ute was killed. So was the truck's passenger, 57-year-old Hannah Reid, died in the inferno. Her partner, 49-year-old Mick Goddard, was behind the wheel and incredibly made it out alive.
He's had a head injury. His hands were burning still at the time. The front of his vest and his whole shirt had just gone out. He was basically still on fire.
Kelly Spendlove and her daughters were the first on scene.
Absolutely horrendous. It was horrible and hot, just pure panic.
They sat with the truckie for 2 gruelling hours until help arrived. He was airlifted to Adelaide with critical burns and underwent emergency surgery this morning. Major crash investigators say when the B-double erupted into flames, burning diesel leaked from its tank, spilling down the side of the elevated causeway and into the pipes below. It was so hot, it melted the road from underneath.
When you've got a fire of such intensity associated with a large vehicle and also a secondary vehicle, it's going to cause some damage.
So severe it could take months to repair. Rosie Barnett, 7 News.
A world-first exchange of faiths has taken place in Iraq. Pope Francis sat down with the country's top Shiite Muslim cleric, Grand Ayatollah Ali al-Sistani. The historic meeting in the holy city of Najaf lasted 50 minutes. The 2 religious leaders shared a message of peaceful coexistence between faiths. The Pope and the Ayatollah agreed that the persecution of Iraq's Christian minority must end. And 10 people have been injured after 2 vehicles lost control in the middle of New York. The driver of this van suffered a medical episode and ploughed into a food stand. Moments earlier, it rear-ended a black sedan, sending it into an outdoor dining area. The driver of the van is now in custody. It is hard to find a more heartless act. The moment a thief stole oxygen tanks from a sick little boy's home. The rise of the sandwich generation, the women juggling jobs, kids and elderly parents. Thousands get dirty to help clean up Australia, and they found guns in Brisbane. And right off track, how a car ended up in the middle of the trots.
They thought they were buying beef.
Who put the roux in the stew? Who?
They got Skippy instead. Flashback 7 News coming up soon.
20 years of serial killing, and Malak wasn't convicted of any of them.
And we're going to prove it.
They're brought to a place where nobody would hear them scream.
Chilling similarities to the backpacker murders.
An incestuous relationship.
This is the deepest anyone has ever done into Ivan Milat's killing ground.
What we've uncovered will make world headlines.
It was swept under the rug.
The evidence was irrefutable.
This will change everything we thought we knew about Milat.
Ivan Milat, Buried Secrets. Next Sunday on 7.
Your dad wants me to download a playlist.
Nothing's fine until I'm all out of faith.
You and me, darling.
This is how I feel.
Times have been tough on small business, so Visa wants to help connect consumers with small businesses that need your support. It's called Where You Shop Matters, and it's about making a conscious decision, because where you shop can make a real difference.
Get the green light with Tab's venue mode. Enjoy exclusive markets and offers that bring your local to life every time you walk through the door. Download the Tab app to make a date with your local. Tab. Long may we play.
Sign up to BP Rewards and you can earn BP points to spend in store.
BP Rewards.
Or get dollars off fuel.
BP Rewards.
Or earn Qantas points towards a holiday.
Totally BP Rewards.
Sign up online today. Your rewards, your way.
Let me guess. eBay Tuesdays?
Best day to save on heaps of things, like hair straighteners.
Wow, it's really straight. Look at that one.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of easy dinners with Coles RSPCA approved chicken drumsticks, down to $4 a kilo. Perfect with a delicious Coles Kitchen salad kit. 2 packs for just $8. Coles, value the Australian way.
It's all around us, no need to look far. Maybe a sunrise, perhaps in a smile. Some say it's magic, guiding our path.
Cherish those golden to us this Easter. Fragrant hazelnuts, smooth velvety chocolate, wrapped in precious gold. Ferrero Rocher, say it with gold.
Bread is a part of life, so why not make life poppier, crustier, and more enjoyable, down to the very last crumb. Abbott's Bakery. Every bit better.
There's been a terrifying shooting spree south of the Queensland border. 2 female police officers are being hailed heroes for saving lives as a man fired shots at a number of homes about 20 kilometres south of Lismore. The officers were caught in the line of fire and 2 police cars were also damaged. A 63-year-old man is now in custody. An oxygen thief has stolen air tanks from the doorstep of a sick little boy's home in Perth. The baby was born with a lung condition and needs the canisters to stay alive.
This is the definition of an oxygen thief. A man runs with 2 large tanks from the home of a chronically sick boy. He stuffs them in the back of his car and goes back for more.
It's not like a normal theft where it's something that you don't really need. It was life-saving medical equipment.
This is the little life he stole from. Baby Takoa has chronic lung disease. He was born at just 26 weeks and needs the oxygen tanks 24/7 to survive.
It's been scary, and then to have someone take his lifeline like that is just... yeah.
All up, 6 tanks were taken. 4 were found dumped and handed in by neighbours.
I don't know what he needed it for or what he wanted it for, but I'm scared that now he knows that he's on oxygen, he might come back.
Less than 24 hours later, he did, delivering the 2 outstanding bottles and an apology. It's lucky the thieves stole the empty bottles and not the new ones that were delivered just half an hour later. Takoa was down to his last bottle, which means he would have had to spend the entire weekend in hospital. Instead, it was the thief who came down with a case of the gilts.
I can't imagine someone knowing that a kid is on oxygen and taking it, like, you wouldn't be human.
Cassidy Moscone, 7 News.
3 men have survived a terrifying boat rollover on the south coast of New South Wales. The vessel became swamped during an unsuccessful bar crossing at Merimbula.
You gotta go! Go, 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 go! Guys in the water!
1 man was trapped in the upturned cabin but managed to escape. All 3 were eventually rescued by surfers. Life jackets are being credited with keeping them alive. They're called the sandwich generation, women who are raising teenagers and caring for ageing parents and juggling a job. Their number is growing every year.
Megan Pitcher is the poster woman for the sandwich generation. She's a vet, she's raising 4 teenagers and caring for parents she adores.
I'm very busy all the time. There is never a spare moment.
Florian and Garth live 2 kilometres away in Taringa. They're healthy, happy and thriving in their 90s.
These women are juggling everything from school notes to school excursions to making sure that everyone's got food in the fridge, and then they're doubling that up and thinking about their parents.
One study estimates 47% of adults are juggling. Most are women, caught in a cultural shift between children who aren't leaving the nest and parents who aren't leaving theirs either.
We need to celebrate the unsung heroes of today, and that's the women of the sandwich generation.
An American company created 50 years ago by working children is now in Australia. Home Instead, a franchise to outsource care for parents.
That might be companionship, that might be doing the grocery shoppings, making sure the house is organised, and actually spending some quality time with their parents.
To make life more like a club sandwich than a jam.
It's really important to know everything that's out there, because then you can make a plan for the future. There are more and more options becoming available. It is not just what it used to be.
Elliot Chipper, 7 News.
All across the nation, volunteers cleaned up Australia today. And in Brisbane, they were shocked to discover a stash of weapons in a Woolloongabba creek.
Along the streets, through parks and bushland, even underwater. Volunteers filled bags and bins, more than 130 kilograms of litter found around Currumbin Creek.
Fortunately, we've been able to move 80 kilos of that to recycling streams.
In the Broadwater, they set out on kayaks and found an old gazebo, while divers at Wavebreak Island collected rubbish from the sea floor.
Our aim is to make sure this is an ongoing process, not just a one-day thing.
An unexpected find at Woolloongabba, guns and knives in a black plastic bag on the banks of Norman Creek.
You expect to see some crazy things on Clean Up Australia Day, but nothing quite this bad.
Police took them away for forensic testing in case they can clean up an old crime. Along the Brisbane River at Kangaroo Point, there were lots of little hands cleaning beneath the mangroves.
Mostly lids and bottle cups. Really disturbing for the environment and for us.
Cleanups across the state have seen tons of rubbish removed from our environment, the most common items being plastic packaging and cigarette butts. Tonight, Queensland is a cleaner place. Carly Madsen, 7 News.
Is it in the genes? The new study set to revolutionise how heart disease is managed, why treatment for men and women could be different. Calls for new food scrap bins across Brisbane, why the Lord Mayor isn't keen. The Mardi Gras marches on, a sea of sequins at Sydney's SCG. And in flashback, panic at the butcher, is this really beef? The great meat substitution scandal.
I'm a bank manager, but now it's time for my next challenge.
This is Ultimate Tag. They are the hunters, and our players are their prey.
The longer they last, the further they'll go.
It's like you're a little baby and a T-Rex is just running after you. All you hear is...
Ultimate Tag starts next up on 7.
The new Hilux comes with Toyota Safety Sensor Standard with features like pre-collision alert and brake assist, so you can awaken your unbreakable safely. The safe new Hilux. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Introducing Bondi Boost, the Aussie-made haircare brand that is shaking up the hair game. Free of parabens, sulfate, silicons, and over 19,000 five-star reviews. Shop online, bondiboost.com.au.
I have to celebrate you, baby.
I have to praise you like I should.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm and together we're Team KidSmart. Busy, active and growing kids sometimes need a little extra nutritional support as they develop, grow and learn.
Like multivitamin for general health and well-being, omega-3 for brain health, and vitamin C for immune system health.
Kids love KidSmart Vita Gummies. KidSmart, growing healthy kids.
Look around. As the favourites come out, it begins. Observing with an eagle eye. Mastering the art of stashing. Brilliant Irv Grant. Cadbury favourites. Everyone gets their favourites.
The top prize for KFC Supercoach NRL is 50 grand. That's 50,000 reasons why you don't want to lose. Being made to catch the bus home like this is just one of them. Register today at supercoach.com.au.
When something goes wrong and you're injured at work or on the road, you need the right advice. Contact Shine Lawyers to access compensation through your superannuation.
I can't afford to be off work.
Shine Lawyers. Let's right wrong.
We've made changes for the busier than busy.
Oh, it's the Telstra team. They've upgraded our plan. Oh, cool.
Dedicated account management support, now with messaging for every business.
What? Oh, we've got to tell everyone. Hey, Gracie! Did you know some health insurers are run for profit?
Oh, what?
That's bonkers. Oh, what a quackish.
Sure is. Join HBF today.
Checking fuelcast now, and we should reach the cheap phase next week, so top up, don't fill up is the message. The average price of unleaded is $1.38 in Brisbane and $1.36 on the Gold Coast. Brisbane residents could soon have a green waste bin for their kitchen scraps. Brisbane City Council's opposition is calling for food organics, garden organics or FOGO bins to be added to the city's green top bins and collected weekly.
Here in Brisbane, we generate about 80,000 tonnes of organic material that goes into landfill each and every year.
To go to a weekly green top bin collection would immediately double the cost of that green top bin collection.
70 councils across Australia already use FOGO bins. Researchers have discovered gender might dictate how you're treated for heart disease. A world-first international study involving Australians has identified the key genes which contribute to heart attack are different in men and women.
Margaret Kilby was just 35 when she suffered her first heart attack. She's survived 3 more.
I was completely shocked, as was my family, because I looked healthy.
That initial episode bearing the signs of a typical attack often seen in men.
I mean, they say it feels like an elephant sitting on your chest, and that's so accurate. It really, really does.
Now a breakthrough. In a world-first study, researchers have identified key genes that contribute to a heart attack are different in men and women.
That really open a whole new avenue of research and discovery, potential therapeutic treatments for women versus men.
In men, blood vessel blockages can be triggered by genetics linked to the immune system. In women, the key drivers tend to be muscular. This might explain why women tend to get blockages about 5 years later than men. Each year in Australia, it's estimated 50,000 women suffer heart attack or other acute coronary events. Doctors say the results will pave the way for more tailored treatments, potentially reducing the frequency of attacks.
Because the ultimate goal is to prevent people having heart attacks in the first place.
Tom Hartley, 7 News.
It wasn't a traditional Mardi Gras, but Sydney's COVID-safe celebration went off without serious problems. 5 people were evicted from the SCG for invading the pitch, but overall police were pleased with the event.
World-class event, world-class celebrations and world-class behaviour by everyone who attended.
33,000 people packed into the ground. It was the first Mardi Gras without an Oxford Street parade in 43 years. Coming up, something very wrong at the Trots last night. There's a car on the track. Plus, in flashback, the Aussie meat scandal that sparked an international incident with America. Who put the roux in the stew? And now he's sport with a man who's very particular about his meat.
Not that particular, Katrina. Hello, everyone. Coming up, the Lions suffer a major injury blow. The Broncos' pre-season has finished, so was Tom Dearden's trial enough to win over Kevin Wilders? And look who has been welcomed back into the Olympic fold. Queensland's Golden Girl, now mentoring Tokyo-bound athletes.
Win your share in $10,000 thanks to 7 News Gold Coast and 1029 Hot Tomato. Watch 7 News Gold Coast this Monday from 5:30 for the cash word. Then listen to Gailey, Emily Jade and Christo on 1029 Hot Tomato for your chance to win an instant grand every weekday morning.
You like spy movies? Sometimes a gentleman's just gotta save the world.
Sorry about that. Needed to let off a little steam.
Kingsman, tonight on 7.
We make buying, renting and selling easy for 12 million Australians. Personalise your search with the #1 address in property, realestate.com.au.
Can't believe some health insurers don't let you use your extras limits the way you want.
Yeah. Oh, what a crock of shit.
Does your health insurer offer cover that lets you use your extras limits your way? Don't settle for a quackish. Join HBF today.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. With award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1.
Express yourself
at Coles Express.
At Anderson's, we know style is nothing without comfort. Right now, you can redeem a free rug valued at $400 when you purchase 40 square metres or more from our wide range of quality vinyl or hybrid flooring. It's the perfect finishing touch, with colours and trends to suit every space. So add comfort to style at Anderson's today.
Always make a good impression.
Connecting Bluetooth.
Or just be yourself. Change the rules. The Toyota CHR. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
That is beautiful!
Want the latest sports, drama, and Netflix? Too easy. The world's greatest sports and entertainment is on sale now. All in one place. Easy. Search Foxtel.
Settle in, punters. The footy's back. For every Thursday and Friday NRL game this round, place a head-to-head bet, and if your team wins by 6 or more, we'll double your winnings in bonus bets up to $50. Tab. Long may we play.
Rob Lowe is TV's wildest new sleuth.
Shoot me!
Nobody shoots anybody here because it's England.
Wild Bill. Tonight on 7-2.
Tom Dearden is in pole position for the Bronx halfback role after an impressive trial for South Logan last night. But regardless of who wears number 7, the Broncos must be mentally stronger this year, a point our own Trevor Gilmister told the players face to face.
In front of 200-odd fans at Acacia Ridge is the last place Dearden thought he'd auditioned to be Broncos halfback. The 19-year-old embraced the relegation, barking orders, setting up tries, even bagging one himself.
Tommy Dearden's, mate, yeah, I love his tenacity, how tough he is, and Brady Croft, mate, I like how he plays as well.
Corey Oates also strong in the back row. However, it is understood he will struggle to break into the round 117. But Dearden should have done enough to sneak in ahead of Croft.
I'd probably go with Tommy Dearden because he's the future of the club. But you know, things can change in footy.
But while Souths dominated the opening half, a second 40 comeback from Redcliffe saw them win. Late fade-out's a major issue for the Broncos last year too, a point Gilmister made to the playing group when he addressed them recently.
On the serious side of things was about the mental toughness. We've got an issue there between the ears, and let's hope that hopefully they can sort that out this year.
Gilly, who won 2 premierships with the club, delivering home truths.
The first 20 minutes, they're fine. You know, it's the last second half, and it's not a fitness issue. It's between the ears.
Chris Gary, 7 News.
A blow for the Lions on the eve of the season, with swingman Dan McStay ruled out for up to a month with knee ligament damage. The injury has taken the gloss off what had been a perfect summer for Brisbane ahead of tomorrow's final pre-season clash against the Suns.
McStay had been a mainstay, hardly missing a beat since Chris Fagan arrived. The Lions now will trial new combinations up forward and the ruck against the Suns.
Getting our team to play together, building the connections and the synergies, just playing 22 guys, full-length game, just so that we're really well conditioned for round 1.
The coach says his players are fit. They'll need to be. We're back to full-length quarters of 20 minutes with time on and 15 fewer rotations per match.
There'll be periods of time during the game where you'll just have to control the ball and not play so quick because, you know, for 2 hours to go at the breakneck speed that some teams have been going at in the last few days is not sustainable.
A new rule stipulating the man on the mark must not move has seen the player with the ball allowed more room to attack.
A bit more challenging now with the new rules that have come in. It seems like scoring's gone up and ball movement's a bit quicker, so it'll be a good opportunity to focus on our team defence.
And all eyes as well on glamour pickup Joe Danaher.
Some weeks he'll kick some goals and some weeks he won't. He'll create for others. The main thing is he's out there and playing and enjoying his footy.
One of Brisbane's major challenges this season unveiled its mouth-watering forward setup last night. Coleman medalists Tom Hawkins and prize signing Jeremy Cameron combining well in Geelong's narrow win over Essendon. Ben Dobson, 7 News.
The Aussie Diamonds surrendered netball's Constellation Cup to New Zealand for the first time since 2012. Australia needed to win today's 4th and final game and led by 8 in the 3rd quarter, but they collapsed again and lost 45-43.
I think we learnt an incredible amount and we're going to come back bigger and better for it.
It's only the 2nd time that Silver Ferns have held the cup. A middle-order batting collapse and some brutal hitting from Martin Guptill condemned Australia to a 7-wicket loss in the T20 decider. The Black Caps coasted to their 143-run target, easily clinching a 3-2 series win.
Australia saved their worst batting performance for last. Aaron Finch and Matthew Wade shared a 66-run stand.
20 rows back.
2 for 74 when Finch fell for 36 was a solid launching pad, but the middle order couldn't achieve liftoff despite ample opportunity.
Terrible delivery. Marcus Stoinis is not going to believe that.
A modest 8 for 142 never looked like being anywhere near enough.
Oh, he's got up and underneath it. That is a big, big hit. He's onto the roof.
Martin Guptill, 71 from 46 balls, setting the Black Caps on the way to a 7-wicket victory.
Finishes the game off.
Probably let them dictate slightly, but we didn't get enough runs.
Fantastic series. I want to thank Aaron and the Australian team for coming over to our shores. I'm sure they've had enough of quarantine.
Kane Williamson now has the Test Championship final against India in June to prepare for.
Now we can accept and admit that we are in the final. It was more of a distraction till now for us.
India's series-clinching win over England in the 4th Test booked their spot in the Lord's showpiece at Australia's expense.
Oh, this has gone straight up in the air. This is going to be out. He swept it straight into the legs of short leg.
In an Ashes year, the Aussies can at least take heart from another crushing innings defeat for England.
He's knocked him over into bin.
Nick Markham, 7 News.
The Bulls are doing their best to reel in an imposing first innings total from the Warriors. Cameron Green hammered a superb 251 on 343 balls as the visitors declared just 5 down. In reply, Joe Burns fell for 34. Marnus Labuschagne and Bryce Street putting together an unbeaten 100 partnership as Queensland finished day 2 275 runs behind. One of Queensland's modern Olympic greats is back in the fold and guiding our athletes towards Tokyo. Stephanie Rice joined fellow Olympian Kim Brennan to mentor the Aussie Spirits softball team, preparing for their first game since 2008. The Rio rowing gold medalist and Beijing triple gold sensation sharing priceless advice.
Being able to share mentally some of the things I went through, some of the challenges I feel I faced and pressure put on me.
You can feel the energy and you can feel the excitement. It's actually getting quite close to games time.
11 Olympic and Paralympic champions visited the Spirit Camp for the Gold Medal Ready program. Katrina, that's our weekend sport.
Thank you, Webby. A spectator got a little too close to the action at Perth's Gloucester Park Trots last night. The event had to be delayed when this woman sped down the straight before pulling up near the winning post. Thankfully, the horses were on the other side of the course preparing for a start. 40 years ago, Queensland kangaroo meat ended up where it shouldn't. The sneaky switch that almost brought Australia's meat export business to its knees.
And at the moment it's 24 degrees here at Shorncliffe. We're in for a hot and unsettled weather week ahead. I'll have the forecast coming up next.
School zone traffic roulette. The southeast's drop-off and pick-up nightmare. Fed up parents.
Absolutely ludicrous of an afternoon and of a morning.
Fed up residents.
It's just chaos.
Cars parked across driveways, yellow lines and bus stops. The worst suburbs, plus plans to fix it. On 7 News, Monday.
I've been working with a little girl by the name of Izzy, and she's got cerebral palsy. She is the most incredible girl.
This is Ultimate Tag. There's one simple goal. Don't get caught.
The longer they last, the further they'll go.
The fastest show on the planet, Ultimate Tag, starts next up on 7.
Mario? Yes! Oh, nice. Jump on the Cooper Trooper. Jump, jump. Come on, there's the ball. Yes. Go, go, go. Hey. Hello. Mario? What are you doing?
Mario. Hey. 35 years of Super Mario, only on Nintendo Switch.
Australia, your country needs you. To take a holiday. It's time to see incredible stuff.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing, right?
Okay.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Honey, I've got the hat. Do stuff you've never done before. Like, order one of these.
You order those all the time.
What? Because the holiday here this year is just what Australia needs. Oh, stop. I'm doing the line.
At QSuper, our members know, beyond every cloud, there is always blue sky.
It's a bright blue sky.
At Ladbrokes, our aim is to make racing even more exciting. Introducing our new Chief Entertainment Officer,
Mike Iceberg.
I'm here to show you all how to Ladbroke it. Let's Ladbroke the action!
That's not safe.
Let's Ladbroke the riders. Ladbroke the winners! Let's Ladbroke the
This could be you.
I've lost 28 kilos with the help of Jenny Craig. My consultant taught me portion control, and that's the best thing.
Start today and save $30 on your first weekly menu on our Rapid Results Weight Loss Plan.
Call Jenny Craig now.
At Macca's, we believe supporting child literacy is bigger than all of us. It's why we've supplied over 28 million children's books in Happy Meals. And for us, this is just the beginning.
Like a lot of people, Melinda had a root problem.
And a magic solution.
Let me show you something.
Magic Retouch by L'Oréal Paris. 3, 2, 1.
And voila!
Magic Retouch by L'Oréal Paris. You're worth it.
Today's main stories now. 15,000 Queenslanders will be gifted travel vouchers for use in the Cairns region. It's part of the government's plan to boost travel to the state's far north. Some Queensland GPs are pulling out of the COVID vaccine rollout. They say they need better funding to administer the jab. And New Caledonia is cleaning up after tropical cyclone Niran passed overhead. 40 years ago, Australia was rocked by a meat substitution scandal. Our American customers thought they were buying Aussie beef. They got something different. The deception gave rise to a chart-topping song. Rod Young reports.
God damn, take this stew, get it tested. Find out whether 4 legs or 2. The findings were somewhat alarming. I'm afraid, sir, there's ruin your stew. Afraid, sir, there's ruin your stew.
Americans weren't happy when they discovered the beef we'd been exporting to them wasn't beef.
The Colonel put the licking in the chicken, but who put the roux in the stew? Who put the roux in the stew?
The meat was exported from Victoria. The kangaroo came from Queensland. Or was it horse? Somewhere along the line, someone was making a lot of money.
The idea of eating Skippy was a bit abhorrent. Of course, the Americans went spare.
At risk, Australia's beef export industry. Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser ordered a royal commission.
Now I'll ring my pal Mal in Australia. Mal, who put the roux in my stew? The reply was, I wish I could find him, 'cause he went and put horse in mine too. Went and put horse in mine too.
Australian consumers were nervous.
Some meat also has found its way into fast food outlets and may have been used in the production of meat pies and dim sims.
It was hard to spot the difference between beef, horse and roux.
Well, this looks gamey.
That's rump steak.
Well, as you can see, I'm an expert on meat.
And you wouldn't sell either of those? I wouldn't sell those if you paid me, mate.
In America, the comedians have seized on this latest ruckus with glee. Irish jokes have given way to countless quips about kangaroo meat in their sacrosanct hamburgers. At least we in Australia, with our very stringent checks, can rest assured that such a dreadful thing would never happen here.
The Colonel put the licking in the chicken, but who put the roux in the stew? Who?
The song gave Queensland's Webb brothers a chart topper. The following year, they invited crowds to their farm. That was the first Gympie music muster. And 4 decades on, kangaroo meat is now exported around the globe, even to America.
Kangaroo stew is the latest special of the week at an Australian theme restaurant on San Francisco's waterfront.
Low in fat, high in protein. It is extremely good meat. It's free-range meat.
Struck old Bill the beef baron on Tuesday. I said, Bill, who put roux in the stew? He said, I don't know, old mate, but I'd like to, 'cause I've something to put in his too. It ain't roux, something to put in his too.
And let's hop on over to the weather now. And Tony, how is it looking for the week ahead?
Oh, Katrina, autumn is here, but we are actually set to heat up for much of the next week, and that comes off the back of what's been a pretty comfortable weekend by our recent standards. And here at Shorncliffe, well, we've just enjoyed a stunning sunset over the past hour, and conditions are indeed that comfortable at the moment with gentle sea breezes in off the water. Now, across the southeast today, a few showers around earlier today. They have cleared inland into this afternoon. We even saw an impressive waterspout up towards Caloundra this morning. Wet weather, of course, clearing inland. Tops of 26 or 27 degrees here by the Bayside, 21 up to 28 in Brisbane. To the satellite, a weak ridge of high pressure overhead in the southeast. That has helped bring these more settled conditions by this afternoon. Elsewhere, plenty of storms inland, and a severe thunderstorm warning is current in a line from about Barcaldine to Roma. To the right of your screen, Cyclone Niran is rapidly weakening, of course, after slamming into New Caledonia over the past day. Tomorrow, that ridge of pressure pushes off the coast as a high pressure centre, so we'll see those winds turning more northerly and temperatures rising again. Still some instability lingering over the southern districts with more storms on the way, though they should stay inland. Across the nation tomorrow, not bad if you're headed to Perth. A dry top of 29 degrees, a shower or two in Melbourne, and maybe pack an extra layer if you're headed there. Back home to Queensland in the north, Weipa could see a storm, just a possible morning shower in Cairns, a bit more sunshine returning there during the day, top of 31. Heading south, storms possible around Longreach, Roma and down towards Toowoomba and Stanthorpe on the ranges, a partly cloudy 30 degrees in Bundaberg. Across the southeast, you couldn't rule out a morning shower near the coast or an afternoon storm inland, though they should stay there. Heating up a touch as those winds turn northerly. 31 the top in Kenmore and Oxley, plenty of 30s for inland spots. Speaking of the bay, boaties, you can expect light north-northwest winds early, turning northeast up to 15 knots in the afternoon. So in Brisbane, just a 40% chance of a shower, more likely in the morning than the afternoon, 22 up to 30 degrees. Looking further ahead, we keep heating up, 31 Tuesday, 32 Wednesday, when afternoon showers and storms become more likely. In Ipswich, storms possible on Tuesday and Wednesday, 33 apiece. On the Gold Coast, also an unsettled finish to the week, a mix of showers and storms from Wednesday onwards. And Sunshine Coasters, you'll need the brolly from about Thursday onwards, but before then, fairly hot. So Katrina, summer isn't quite forgotten yet, even though we're in autumn.
Thanks, Tony. That is all from us this Sunday. Thanks so much for your company. Stand by now for the premiere of Ultimate Tag. Enjoy your night.